I'm going to be analyzing Marianne's character and the things they carried. Um, so she's one of the only female characters in the book, and her character initially starts off just as an object for the men to play with, and they expect her to be passive and non-transgressing and just sit by idly and kind of just be an object for them. But as soon as she arrives, she just doesn't hesitate from standing her ground because, quote, the war intrigued her, the land too, the mystery. So as soon as she arrives, she just feels this connection to the land, and she doesn't want to just act as an object for them. She wants to embrace that feeling. And so she embraced the aspects of war by asking the men questions, and then she, quote, squints and listens carefully to the answers. And I find her character to be relatable and admirable in this particular aspect because she's very curious and she doesn't shy away from asking those questions and having the opportunity to learn because she isn't expected to. And so her character counteracts the stereotypical expectations of a woman to only want peace and love and not be intrigued by what men are intrigued by. And so I think that's very an admirable aspect of her character because that's not something a lot of women often feel or are confident enough to do. And so, but I think her character can be interpreted in many ways. And so another way is that her character shows that no matter who you are, war will bring out the innate human characteristics in you. So even as a woman, war is so real and extreme that one can't escape its detrimental effects. And so as her character stays in Vietnam, she undergoes extreme change and she ends up just fully embracing her environment. And she, quote, shows no emotion in her stare, no person behind it. And she even goes to just become one with the woods and the land. And so this interpretation can be really influential to readers because it shows that no matter who you are, the effects of war are so extreme that you just can't escape them, and it can make you feel crazy and it can make people go crazy, and for lack of a better word, crazy, but it'll just make people feel such extreme emotions that maybe they're not going to the extent that Marianne does, but it can still just cause such extreme reactions, no matter who you are. And then the way I like to interpret her character is as a strong female. And so she goes against the men's expectations and she takes her life into her own hands. And the men expect her to just be a doll to play with, but she doesn't follow that path because she feels a sense of connection to the land of Vietnam and she wants to embrace that feeling. And so I think this interpretation can be really influential to readers because it shows that as a woman or any other person, it's so important to follow what feels best to you and true to you because that's the only way you'll be able to find your own happiness.